All right, guys, thank you for joining us with the Council of Chronic. We are talking about John Wick today, so get ready for some spoilers.
John Wick 3,
Yes.
Parabellum.
Yes, John Wick 3.
And we are going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you anyway? It's John Wick. It was really good.
Yeah, that was just over the top violence and action. Just a showcase.
Yeah, it's so if you don't know John Wick, I guess a good general way to describe it is he's a man of focus. They say in the first and second one, that he can get the job done. He's an ex-mafia guy. His wife dies. She gives him a dog. And dumbass sneaks in the building, shoots the guy's dog, and steals his car. Boom, now he's on a tirade of just kill everything he sees for 2 movies, and then this is the 3rd one now. And so by this point, he's excommunicado right at the beginning of it. So it starts right off from where the second one ends. He's running down the street. He knows he's got 20 minutes because he gives him it's like a 20-minute head start, right? To get safe.
No, he had an hour.
It was an hour. Oh, maybe it was
an hour.
Maybe it was an hour.
Remember, it was what was it, like 5 o'clock? I think. Was the time tick down?
I don't remember because the movie starts with him having that 20. Basically, it's 20 minutes from when the 3rd movie starts. But I think he does spend 40 minutes getting his affairs in order at the Continental because she punishes him for it. She punishes him for giving it an hour. So I think he might be right. Yeah. Either way, yeah. Short amount of time to get the fuck out of Dodge and get your affairs together. And, it does not disappoint. I want to say the first 30 minutes of the movie, he doesn't really say much beyond huh and ha and huh because he's getting shot and shot at, It's just so much. The first 30 minutes is just nonstop chase scene. These guys just chasing and pursuing him, and he's just trying to get away. He's not instigating anything. He just wants to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he just got done with everything for part 2, and it literally took off from there. This dude needs a quick break.
Yeah, he does need a break.
He needs a nap.
Like he's still limping and bleeding in that one, and then so that kind of kicks it off. You get that first battle with the tall guy. I don't know his name. But the dude, if I remember, he's like notoriously 7'2", and his hands are the size of Keanu's face. He grabs him by the head at one point, and you see this paw just come down, and it just encompasses all of Keanu's head.
But you know what's funny is
it moves in between the bookshelves.
That's what it's like for most other characters with Keanu, because he's actually a big dude.
Yeah.
So this guy's even bigger than him.
Oh, it was huge. It was really neat. All the original characters, I appreciate that they found as the different assassins. Nobody looked average. Everybody looked like they had some weird, crazy story and talent. And
I was so excited about the characters. They had such cool actors. They got the guys from The Raid. They had Mark Dacascos. He's an awesome martial artist. It's so cool to see him in that role. He played such a good bad guy.
Samurai Asian aspect in this one because he kind of comes across that group, the sushi chefs, I guess.
Yeah, but he had that humorous effect. He wasn't all serious. Just,
hey, big fan. We're both murderers. I love what you do.
But I gotta kill you.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to kill you.
The choreography, I gotta say, I was so impressed. They did it so nice and clean. Looked cool as hell.
There was only one moment where I could see he telegraphed something and they left it in. Other than that, there wasn't a single spot that I could tell. It all felt like him actually reacting.
Yeah, the training was awesome. If you watch the videos on YouTube where he's training for this movie, he put in a hell of an effort into making this so much fun.
There's one spot where he does the shotgun, and I counted, and it felt like he fired 2 additional rounds that I thought he didn't have. But then I realized when he's loading the shotgun, he's grabbing 3 at a time from that belt, and power slamming them in. So then I was like, oh, he is loading them 3 at a time, and then it made sense. That's one thing since the first John Wick that I've always appreciated is if you are a gun nut and you know some of the guns he's firing, for the most part, you can count every bullet he fires. I don't know about the bad guys. I'm not counting theirs. I'm usually just counting his. But you can count every bullet he fires and when he reloads, and it checks out. He's firing what he has in the magazine, and he needs to reload when he's actually out. That was one thing I appreciate about that movie. There's no such
crazy,
thing as cinematic
but I don't believe I've personally witnessed any anything wrong as far as the firearms go.
No,
I know there's some pros that probably find something. I'm sure somebody, if they're looking deep enough, there's always some mistake somebody makes. Those aren't fake guns after all.
And by all means, if you notice them, put them in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, normally...
But I was hard pressed too. Even when he, he walks out at the end there and he has the, I think it's the AK with the banana clips that are duct taped together, so you can pull it out, flip it over, slam it in again.
I don't think that was an AK. I think that was an AR.
Oh, you're right, AR. That's what you're right. That's what I meant, AR.
Or AR type rifle, whatever it was. Yeah, the guns they use in that one are awesome. There's actually a website, was it IMFDB? They tell you all
the list is guns. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
So if you want to know what they were using, I'm sure all of it is expensive as hell. If you ever look at those movies and you look at the guns that they use, they're upwards of like $2,000, $3,000 guns, if not more.
Oh, easily, I'm sure. Yeah.
Many that are custom made. I'm surprised they don't do as much with that as they do with like watches and sunglasses. You know, when they're advertised, they did more about advertising.
There was plenty of the watch advertising too.
Yeah,
you don't notice it, but you see it, like they always lift and you see those watches that they're all wearing. You're like, well, I'd never afford one of those.
But they never zoom in on the make and manufacture of the firearm.
No.
I mean, this one they definitely they do a little more. It's beautiful, and the cast, man, damn they did all out. Halle Berry, damn, she looks so
That was
young.
A neat cameo. Awesome that was a really neat cameo and one of the cooler scenes. And I can say the neat part about that scene too was this motherfucker brings an edible in and he's like, let's split it, cool. And about the time that scene kicked in was right when I started feeling like this, everything's really intense right now. And so those dogs are eating everybody, and it's a pretty visceral scene already. And I'm really just high as, oh my God, in the seat at the same time. That scene was gnarly.
Oh, every time those dogs came in a frame was just like a holy shit moment. Every single time they jump, grab this dude, take him down, grab that dude. You see them shooting, and then also the dog pops it again, bam, drops him to the ground. John Wick comes up, pops him in the head. My God, it was just insane.
Well, the dogs are a good point. Another thing people don't think about with movies like that all the time, the sound design. Every hit, when he hits somebody, you feel it. When the swords go through somebody, it's just that they really nailed the sound design, and the dogs are a perfect example of that, because every time they have that like angry dog noise, and they jump through the screen, and it's so loud and just tearing guys. Always in the dick, too. You ever notice both of those dogs are dick-seeking missiles. Every single time they took a dude down, there's 3 times I think it's not in the dick. There's that one guy that comes running out, and he catches him in the arm, and it flips the guy in the air. He hits the ground because the dog's flying. Every other time, though, dick-seeking missile.
Those dogs are horrible. Man.
Even awesome. Wick was pretty guilty in this one of the dick-seeking fist missile. How many times did he have it? Or he's in a situation where it's really hard for me to get out of him, and he knocks the dude in the dick, and he kicks another guy in the dick the other time. You're like, way to go, John.
Hey, it's a target. You know what? Street fights, man. You do whatever you got to do.
I just thought it was funny how many specific dick kicks and those dogs dick-seeking missiles.
That's a big thing with Krav Maga. It teaches you basically do whatever.
It's a weak spot. If you hit it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. If it hurts and it's going to take him down, you do it. So, yeah, hey, he's a professional assassin. He doesn't care about
that
your nuts.
knife scene has that, man, when they're beating each other up and they're in the fist fight and they both kind of stop. And you see Wick look behind him, and there's a glass case full of knives. And the other guy looks next to him, and there's a glass case full of knives. Why are we doing this? And they break and start throwing knives at each other. And I love that Wick keeps grabbing them and throwing them, and then they throw one at him, and he just catches theirs and throws it back, like without even a thought. I don't think any of their knives got through. Every knife they throw, Wick's just like, knives. Oh, your knife too. There you go. Knives. Oh, there's another knife. I got it. He didn't. He did not get hit by knives. He's just like, knife in the air, it's yours.
I like the guy stabs in the skull, and he's just like, nope, not enough.
Oh, hammers it. Gah. There were several moments. So part of it was frustrating when you watch a movie open a weekend like that. There's a lot of people. We were surrounded by people. There was someone right next to me, next to you. Pretty much within the first couple of days.
It was a weekday.
people behind us, people all over, and it's like, I don't want to be surrounded by people when I watch this. But then when those moments happen, then it's like a sporting event because you hear everybody like, yeah, oh, and you get all the woos and little ha's and things, and it makes those scenes a lot more fun.
You just can't. In that movie, you can't help it. Like, most of the movie, oh, damn. Oh,
I was saying it so much. I thought I was driving this poor lady next to me when he breaks the big dude's jaw with the book. He's like hanging off. I'm like, oh fuck! And I heard her just like over at me, and then he breaks the dude's head over the book too, and she's like, oh shit! And she kind of said it out loud, and so I was like, oh, I think she realized what's going on. Yeah, she was caught in the moment too. But I just like out blatantly, I like, oh fuck, like so loud in the theater. Just saw his jaw, just like hanging off this dude. That's such a gnarly moment. I mean, they did really good, man. Even like I said, the CG stuff that bugged me, I understand why they did it because there were probably a good 500 plus bullet hits in that film. To do that practically is probably really expensive. So to do that with CG, when you have that many bullet hits, there were a lot of bullet hits in that movie. More than I think it was as many as probably the first two combined, honestly.
It was hard to pay so much attention. I'm surprised you did because to see all that, I didn't even notice. There was so much going on and so much action. couldn't even tell.
I mean, I do a lot of makeup, so I look at that stuff.
I should mention the cinematography was fantastic. It was clean. They didn't do that whole camera shaking all the time. You can't see what's going on. They actually showed you what these guys are doing, all that training that they put into this, especially into those fight scenes. I love fight scenes and hate stuff when like Bourne Identity did it, and there's a lot of movies where you see these fights, they're so close, like Liam Neeson, a lot of the stuff, like you can't really see what they're doing. It just looks...
Well, it's because they're not really doing it.
Yeah, they're not really doing anything, and they're making it look as if it's real.
That's a big thing with Asian films that I like is I always made this comparison back in the 90s. You watch an American film full of action, and the action's happening in the camera movement, not actually on the screen. It's the camera moving. And then you watch Asian movies, right, or these any of the from Taiba or anyway. I'm trying to. God, I can't think of the names. Ong Bak. It was right there. It was a Thai film. I don't know why Taiba was coming to mind, dude. And we're like, look at this blunt. This is the second one today. CBD blunt. What do you want for it? Ong Bak. It was a Thai film. That's why Thai kept coming to mind. And he uses his knees and elbows. Perfect example. It was a visceral. They are fighting and you see every moment to the point where they have to slow down the action. So that's the difference. Ours is they speed everything up and they shake the camera. And theirs is the action is so fast, but they want you to see it, that they have to slow the camera down so you can see the fist moving into the dude's face. And the actual ripple that's not CG coming off the guy who's actually getting hit instead of the fist going 3 feet from his face and the camera just angling it properly.
Yeah, so
huge difference.
I got to give my appreciation to those cinematographers, the director, for doing that, because that was awesome
and the choreographer for sure.
Yes,
and Keanu, because there's very few moments. Another thing I look for, I did not see a single moment in the movie where I went, "That's not Keanu doing that stunt." There was all the time. I feel like you could always see his face. Whether he's riding the motorcycle down the street and jumping from the horse to the motorcycle, the whole time you see it's Keanu's face. It's not some other dude. You're like, fuck, this guy's actually doing a lot of this stuff. Even if it's in green screen, I mean, that's still a fairly, you can get hurt. And it is taxing on your body and shit,
Yeah, it is. And there is a little controversy in the industry about it regarding the work that stunt people get, and if an actor gets injured, then he puts production on hold, just like Daniel Craig right now, 2 weeks production on hold, people losing money.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand on one hand. I mean, you kind of appreciate that they go through all this effort to make it more real for you, and it's amazing. You become a stuntman. But when you look at it from the industry perspective, when there is a lot of people's jobs on the line, depending on what you're doing, like Tom Cruise jumping a building and breaking his leg, that's a little over the top. I mean, I get it. Action fight scenes. Great, please. That was beautiful.
Really
but if you're doing some
stupid,
crazy thing like jumping a motorcycle or...
Jackie Chan did it.
Yeah, and how many limbs and everything that he broke, how much time did they lose?
So many.
But you have to work around that with the actor, and that does affect...
Well, and they did. So I remember Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie. He breaks his leg on that roof jump scene, and then they went and recorded a lot of stuff that didn't require him to be in stunts, talking, shit like that, where he could stand in a cast and you didn't see his foot. So there's ways to work around that and still be in work, you know?
Yeah.
That depends on, I guess, the actor and the contract.
But I could say in John Wick, I mean, nothing was too, like, the action was mostly not ridiculous. It was just a lot of martial arts and gunfighting. He didn't really do anything too over the top crazy that I would say.
Yeah, there were a few moments that I was kind of like, whoa, it was a bit over the top, but not many. Definitely not many. The motorcycle horse race scene had a couple moments, and I was just like, why does that dude just stab him in the back when he's beating this guy up? And then eventually he'll turn and address that guy. But
well, my question is, how did they film the motorcycle scene? Yeah, he was in it, but I don't think they were actually.
I don't know, man. There were very few moments that I saw green screen stuff. No, there was a lot of moments that was practical. He was on that bike, and he was doing a lot of those stunts too.
Well, I know he rides motorcycles. I know he has his own company and everything.
No, most of that. Cool, that's why the gunshot stuff bugged me so much, because so much of that film was practical effects, where Keanu is really doing it, or they had a stunt guy from far away for some of it, but even then he did so much of it that they could cut away to a scene of him actually doing part of it, that when they cut away to the stunt driver, it's so quick you don't notice it. You still are stuck in the belief that that's Keanu in the car, or that's Keanu doing this. So that I appreciate it. I mean, there still are stunts, but there was a lot of that practical stuff, and then it was the gun hits of all the stuff that they did that was the CG. And you're like, what? That's like, I feel that's way easier to CG than throwing Keanu out of a building for real. But you threw him out of the building, you just didn't squib people, whatever.
Yeah, the most thing I appreciate is, like, with Keanu, he put in the training as far as his martial arts. And I saw that the martial arts and the gun training that he did, the tactical training, all that, you see even from those videos what he's doing, that he actually learned this stuff, and he did his best to make it look more realistic. Even though that's absolutely insane. God bless anybody in the real world that special ops that could actually do that kind of shit that maybe we don't know about.
I think he's going to be one of those guys like Chuck Norris or the guys that get the badass moniker later down the line, because he feels either he's a good enough actor, which is weird to say about Keanu Reeves, that he sells it, or I really think that he just learned how to do it all. So if he actually encountered 5 or 6 dudes on the street that don't know what they're doing, I think he'd fucking whoop them all, man.
Oh, no, there's plenty of dudes that are professional fighters that could take on a ton of people. In that form that he does it, I'm saying that quick, everything, one guy, being like Superman.
He's
on the battlefield
of extreme dedication and focus.
Yeah, that's. I doubt in real life you'd see it happen in that way. More than likely, if you try doing that, you get shot.
Well, yeah, not to that degree either. I could see him taking out 3 or 4, not 40 or 50.
I mean, obviously it's a movie. It's a little fantasy. It's fun.
Oh, but you see it's a movie based on a comic book. If I'm not mistaken, John Wick, while realistic, is a comic book originally, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a Google thing we got to do. I thought John Wick was I want to say I thought it was based on a comic book.
I'm not sure it is. Maybe they made one post.
Maybe. All right, hold on. Check. We'll go ahead and keep going.
But talking. But I said the choreography, though, because that's something I can appreciate, that it's very difficult to train that and do all that work, and watching it the way they did it, I could keep saying 1,000 times. That was pretty awesome.
John Wick Volume 1 comic book.
But I think it came out after the movie. Because if they made it, it probably wasn't very popular.
Okay, so you're right. The comic book is based on the movie series. It wasn't a comic book. Right? Yeah. I knew there was a comic book, but I didn't know if it was a chicken egg situation. I didn't know which one came first.
But they did announce after this one, even though it was supposed to be the last one, that they're doing part 4. So that'll be fun. So he's just basically
it ends like the first 2, where it's like, cool, you kicked a lot of ass. Here's another big problem for you to overcome. I like that they call them chapters, though, and I think that makes it easier to think of like a book. Because it was from the beginning, John Wick Chapter 1. So you already kind of knew there was more coming. And then John Wick Chapter 2, just being Chapter 3. So you do feel more like they can read it like a book. Like they had a whole story in mind, and these are just the steps that he has to go through to eventually, either die or get out, whatever's going on. The next one I think is that's still going. These CBD wraps and these are really good, dude. I dig these.
Yes, they are.
You got a good body high and a good just easily distracted.
Yeah, this one took me out. John Wick.
Well, it was worth it. I think a movie like this is probably totally worth your time to go see in the movie theater. There's another really great homage scene where they're in the mirrors, the glass, the maze.
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
That was
part 2.
Yeah, because part 2 they have that scene that was in the whole mirrored room, and the whole time you're like, God, this is impossible. Where's the camera crew filming in this? It was really impressive. This one, another thing with all the mirrors, and you never once see a camera crew in the glare of the mirror, which is very impressive. I mean, from a technical aspect, I know you're not looking for that stuff, but I do, and it's when you see things like that, you can tell that this is a person who's passionate about making it the best movie he can.
Oh yeah, it was fun going in there. There's not a single moment that disappointed. It was just nonstop action. It's what you're going there to see, a showcase of action and violence.
It's almost so much action that when it slows down, you're thankful for the break because your heart's just like, oh my God, okay, oh thank God. I can take a chance and I can eat this here churro next to me instead of letting it get cold because you don't want to look away when he's just destroying people. You're almost thankful for the slow moments. There's that few of them. And when they are there, that Mark Dacascos or the other 2 sushi guys from Raid fucking killed it.
Oh yeah, all their interactions were so cool. The adjudicator. Is that what she was?
Even though she never does anything. She really doesn't do anything but talk on a phone and just be like, I'm here representing these big bads that you just don't know about.
I really thought they would kill her. Or something. I thought so maybe she would come out and be some sort of crazy killer herself, but no, she was just the adjudicator. Literally.
I guess she's the catalyst for the sushi guys. Cool. She hires the sushi chefs. Yeah. You guys still in work?
Before the movie, I did not know Mark Dacascos was in it. I thought maybe I saw him in the trailer. But that was such a great surprise. I was so happy. I was really pleased with that. That was definitely even I grew up watching his movies, and he was always funny. He was always up there along with Van Damme, Chuck Norris back in the day.
Yeah.
And then he went on to some B movies, and to see him back up, that was an awesome character, perfect for him.
Yeah, he picked some really neat roles, and I don't think that he was ever as worried about being a big house name as much as playing something that he was passionate about playing, with his roles. So he always has very memorable roles, which is nice. And I forget how much of a badass he is. He really is. He was one of the original, I do all my own stunts. Fuck letting people do shit for me when I can jump off a building kind of guy,
Though I should say, he's been getting a lot of practice. He's been on that Hawaii Five-0 TV show. He's the main bad guy. He's the main villain.
Oh, no shit?
From whoever was in the original. I can't remember the name. I watched a lot of that show. Very fun show. And he's always in and out of it. He's the main villain. He's Kingpin kind of character. He's popping up and causing trouble. So he's been doing that. Hosting, Iron Chef, I think it is. Is that the chef show? So he's still been around, some in the background, he's always there. But
doing fun bee stuff, whatever. Just it's fancy.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, yeah, man, that was John Wick. That was a blast.
It was a lot of fun. If you're a fan of the first 2 movies, you won't be disappointed with this one. The people that are still alive, you see come back, which is kind of nice since he doesn't leave many people alive. Cassius was one I think they're going to save. I have a feeling he's going to team up with Cassius later.
He just got stabbed, literally. He just got stabbed.
I think he's going to team up with him. I think we're going to see him in chapter 5 or 6 down the road,
Yeah, he's a new James Bond. Or not the new James. He's another James Bond. They're probably going to keep it going. I doubt they're going to end it.
And he can call on the twins.
Well, go see John Wick. Keep the violence in the movies and have some fun.
Yeah, man, shit.
I'm baked to perfection.
That was great.